There's something you should know about me and puzzle games. I am positively terrible at them. However, Etherborn, I decided, hey, you know what? We're going to have to play this game because it just looks so incredibly fun. If you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. And otherwise, let us begin.
Can you hear me? Doubt. Destroy. Contemplate. Fall silent. Build. Listen, at last, to what has always existed, and was never there, and seek until your last breath the impossible pathway. Look for me. I'll show you how. I'll show you why. Follow my voice.
Now, what is the first thing you notice about Etherborn? Well, the art style, obviously. So I'm going to talk about the art style first. And basically what you want to know about this is it's minimalist. Very minimalist indeed, with some extremely exquisite details. But you'll see those as we go through the levels. Now, obviously, because this is I would say it's maybe a puzzle platformer, but I would say that the platforming is very much secondary. I really don't think you need to do that much platforming. It's more to do with the mind over, you know, needing quick reactions or whatever the case. So I'm dead in the water here, that's for sure. No, I'm just kidding. I am okay to maybe complete the first puzzle. Let's see. Anyway, as we go forward here, we're going to see some very basic, shall we say, movement. Basically, I'm using a PlayStation 4 controller at the moment because the game recommends a gamepad, but that isn't to say that you need to use one. You really don't need to use one. Now, here's the cool thing about this game. The main mechanic of the game is that it is a gravity-bending puzzler. So basically what that means is wherever you're stepping, if you go over a curved edge, as you can see right here, here's a curved edge. If I go over a curved edge, I don't fall, I stick to it. However, if there is an actual edge to the edge, if you see what I mean here by this dark outline, then that indicates that it's a hard edge, and as a result, I will not be able to stick to the surface, and I will just drop, like we see here. Now, thankfully, if you do drop, sometimes you die. I've died multiple times. Yes, you do die from falling damage, but not if you're landing on something that is a safe zone, so to speak. So yeah, there's also interactions that you can make as well. We're going to be picking up these spherical objects, and those objects enable us to activate switches, which do a wide variety of different things in the game world. Like that, for example, like building a bridge or moving something, and you're going to need to utilize the interactions suitably to be able to progress.
What has never been, that which aches your entrails, is now tearing the earth, cracking the pavement, and spreading its roots, like shadows, over everything there is, but nobody wants to acknowledge. Not unlike the harsh woods, it rips apart the eyes of those who dare to look at it, and shows more paths than you could ever walk. This is its definition, an unfathomable threat, and nevertheless, a freedom of will brought to you, who struggle to be, but aren't.
And the one thing that I should also mention is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is extremely relaxing, very high on the ambiance, on the atmosphere, and captures the beauty of the game perfectly. So they've done a really good job in pairing the visuals and the audio together very well. Anyway, we're going to go up this tree. Now this is basically, obviously, a very short tutorial. That was it. That was basically the tutorial right there. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be climbing the endless tree. Now this tree is where you select the levels which you're going to try to complete.
Everything you see, all the angst you feel has always been there. It's been, along with you and all of us, hidden from our senses as an incomprehensible event, nonetheless bound into our skin.
And here is our first level. I think while I'm doing some of this puzzling, if I do end up getting stuck, then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay a little bit quiet so you can hear the soundtrack, you can hear the, the ambient sounds as well, and see what's actually going on with it. So I'm actually going to be quiet for maybe a minute or so. Some very calming and soothing tones to be heard in Etherborn, and I gotta say, if I wasn't so bad at puzzles, I'd probably find this game extremely relaxing. So if you are someone that is relatively decent at puzzles or enjoy puzzle games in general, then I would definitely recommend this to check out, because it is really good. It is really good. It's just that I'm not good at puzzles. That's literally it. Anyway, we'll see how I do as we go forward, but otherwise, this is mind-bending. It just really is mind-bending. It really pushes your perception and maybe even spatial awareness. Maybe your spatial awareness. Maybe not so much. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, we're going to just pick up this little item here because we don't need this bridge any further. But do you see how intricate the level design actually is? Because you could see this little thing above us right here, this little arch, half arch, and you would think to yourself, that has nothing to do with the way that we're going to be, puzzling around here. But it actually does. It's basically the solution to the puzzle, which is really quite amazing. So that's exactly what I mean about this kind of game. It is masterful, the way the levels are designed, and that's always such a grand thing about really good puzzle games. They really know how to make levels be intricate, simple, yet expertly crafted, mind-bending, crushing devices, because let's face it, they're crushing my brain. Oh yes, they certainly are. Anyway, this is look at that. We got some little sort of cinematic birds going off there, and this is where we're going to get into, I believe, a little bit more complicated territory. Now bear in mind that this is the first level that we're going to be facing here, and it's not going to be that difficult, but let me tell you something. I actually, obviously, because this is a puzzler and I am not exactly great at them, I decided to play a little bit before obviously recording to make sure that I knew exactly what I should do or could do, and see how everything goes. Now, here's the thing. This took me... I don't know whether to exaggerate too much or not, but it took me, let's say, 10 million years to actually just complete this first puzzle. In actuality, it probably took me about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, and that's obviously... I don't think that it should take you that long, but maybe it's just me because, as I say, I am not very good. But, well... You'll see exactly what's going on here. So basically what we have to do is we have to find 2 of these spherical objects. Now, what we can do with those is we can go up here and we can place one on this little switch, and then we can run and jump over to this other one, and we can place that up there. And then what we need to do is, obviously, because we have 2 switches down below there, we need to get this one from over here, because we need 2, and there are no others in the area apart from one other, which we can't get unless we place both of these on here. So you see where I'm going with this. You see where I'm going with this. So we're going to get this little thing to come out, and as you see, obviously the level is very, very intricate and is going to be moving around all over the place to allow us access to various other places. And now where do I go? Okay, so now where do I go? So obviously, because this is a curved edge, I can go down here. So as you can see, there's another spherical item. I'll be picking that up, thank you very much. If I fall off here and hit the green, then I should be okay. But obviously if I fall and go between any of those, then I will die. But that's okay, because the saving system, the autosave system that is in place, the checkpoint system, should I say, is perfect. It is an absolutely fantastic system in place, because basically if you die... I'm actually just going to jump off right now. Oh, I actually almost got to the next little area there. But anyway, as you could see, I died and came back, and I'm basically where I was. And I think the game actually saves your position, I think maybe like every 15 seconds or so, maybe something like that. So it's really, really good. If you make a mistake, it's just going to take you back right there. And it's going to be really, really good in that way. So yeah, now you would think, right? You'd think that we'd go down this way, yes? Because obviously the bridge has formed, yeah? Well, wrong. Wrong, Sonny Jim. This is not the way to go. This is actually not the way to go. But this is exactly what took me all that time to try and figure out. So basically, I think some sharper, some sharper knives in the drawer of you might be able to figure this out in much quicker time. So I'm actually just going to just wait for another 10 seconds just to see whether you can figure out which way we're supposed to go. Well, obviously it's this way, because, well, there's a curved edge there. Anywhere you see a curved edge, that is probably my biggest tip that I can basically give to anyone that is wanting to play Etherborn, is look out for those curved edges. They are going to be the key to most of the puzzles that you'll find, but obviously there are many, many more intricate ones to be faced in the future. Because let me tell you, I didn't complete any other level except the first one. And it took me almost, what, 50 minutes or so to complete the first level, just because I was so stumped, absolutely so stumped. But you can see here that the imagery is absolutely just amazing. I mean, we've got a greenhouse here, and you can actually go inside it, pick up this spherical item, and look at this. We got like, what are these? Tomatoes? I think these might be tomatoes. They look very tasty indeed. And now where do we go? Well, I know for a fact, obviously, that I'm going to die here, but that's okay, because the saving system, as I've said, is basically perfect. It's always going to save your progress in a really good place. Now, otherwise, look at this. We've got a little spherical object here, but I can't crouch, obviously. I can't crouch or do anything of that sort, so I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to use my gravity bending abilities to the utmost. So what we're going to do, well, let's see here. Look at this. I can go onto this little roof here, and then I can use this to go onto the one side of the greenhouse that I couldn't, and then we're just going to drop down into the sphere and then jump back out if I can. There we go. And then I've got to be careful not to kill myself here, because you can very easily fall off the level if you are not careful. Now we have 3 spherical objects, and I should be able to raise the bridge, or extend the bridge, either way. And then we can make our way on to the next area. I think we should be okay here, but obviously this is all kind of a bit difficult for me. So let's see. Technically I could jump up here, but I don't think I can, so I'm just going to drop down. And we'll see where I actually have to go now. Okay, so obviously we've got a whole bunch of curves here, but mostly hard edges, so I won't be able to utilize any of these places. But if I go up here maybe, then I can potentially jump over this way. And is this the right way to go? That's the thing. I'm not entirely sure if there are different ways. Oh. Then I killed myself. Great. I'm not entirely sure if there are different ways to complete each level. I think there might be multiple ways to do things, but I found that this one was obviously the simplest for me to complete, and there it is. That is the end of the first level. So simple, right? Well, it's simple once you know the once you know the solution, as it is the case with most things.
A long time ago, when humankind wasn't even the spark of what it was to become, the universe ruthlessly took the human being by the neck, dragged them to an abyss, and cast them down, without any warning, amidst fire, stone, and water. Their naked and convalescent bodies shook among sharp rocks, only sheltered by cold and mist. The sky arose magnificently above them, and with every abrupt thunder they became more aware of their fragile physique. Every gust of wind warned them that their bones could be reduced to ashes, if the sky decided so. Then, horrified by everything and by the nothingness, humans gazed upon what they'd be, what they weren't, and what they could never become.
And so there we have it. That is the first level of Etherborn. And now we can continue onward if we so desire. We can go further and further through the endless tree and continue puzzling our hearts out. And that is exactly what I'm going to leave you to do. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. And otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.